hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Art First. And we're gonna get a little fade out. Are we gonna do it?
It's music the entire time.
There we go. Happy Friday, Brian.
Happy Friday. It's almost the end of the month. This month has really flown by.
It is, and especially February being a short month, it goes even quicker, which is wild. Yeah, man. I mean, look, markets are going to do what markets are going to do. I don't think we're any lower than we were last time. We're just kind of in this weird. We're riding a wave. We're choppy, But it's kind of like we were talking before the show. It's a lot easier to run through like a bear than it is to ride through the bull. And
we're seeing a lot of NFT projects do pretty well right now, and so I think I have a deep belief that when the charts go up and down dramatically, people hold on to their coins, and then when they start to level out for a while, people start to look at what else they can spend their coins on, and then you start to see NFTs do well. And we saw a whole bunch of drops go well. I don't need to name them because we might be talking about them later in the show.
It's true. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm having a good time just trying to like maneuver through some of this stuff. I'd be remiss if I didn't say the world does feel like it's on fire, but I've seen a lot of really good art come out of that. I know that I personally am like, that's my outlet for a lot of this craziness. And so look, if we can find ways of channeling our emotions into art, I think it's a good thing. But yeah.
It's like a self-help group, all of us artists making art about things falling apart.
It is, man. So I appreciate when I see stuff like that on the timeline. I feel a little bit less alone. And speaking of feeling less alone, because I want to just tee this up real quick. It's not a good segue, but I am very intrigued and excited about our guest today because I've been watching her art for a while, seeing somewhat of an evolution for a bit of time now. It's somebody who has been indirectly on the show, like her art's been featured on the show before. We've had other artists come on and she gets picked as someone they want to show off, and sometimes so much so she's like one of the people that we have to say, like, we featured her already, like, sorry, but can you find somebody else, because we've shown her on the show a few times. And I think those are moments where you sit back and you're like, well clearly something bigger is here, and we should probably talk to this person and learn a little bit more about what they do. That's at least my barometer for this.
Well said.
So
let's bring her on first.
I was gonna say, without further ado, right? Let's the creator of dreams and beautiful artwork. Let's bring to the stage, everybody, Jen Panepinto, Quantum Spirit. Hello. I got my thing. There it
is. So good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you for coming. Like I said, it's like an artist, right? Like when there's enough artists who are all like, check this person out, and I'm like, oh no, I've seen their work before, and then over and over and over. So congrats on just in general making really awesome art, and in a style that is, I'd say, pretty novel and I hadn't seen before, and you've definitely made your mark with it.
That's awesome. Thank you. It surprises me every time I hear somebody say something like that. And it's I don't know.
Do you feel like you've done that? Do you feel like you've created a niche for yourself, like that you've worked out into somewhat of a visual language that is like your style?
I guess so. I think there's a lot of people who do similar, like some work that's very similar, but I think there's just like a tiny little tweak that I have that like makes all the difference. And, sometimes that's all it takes, I guess, I do, a lot of frame by frame animation, and that's not a new idea, but I think the combination of using AI with that technique and the variations you get from AI generations is the new part. And as soon as I started using Midjourney, I was just like fascinated by the variations that would come up. And I think a lot of people thought that was like annoying because there's just like so many of one thing. But the way the AI interprets like each one from the other, to me was like very interesting. So I just started to layer that, and yeah, it just kind of went from there. It still interests me. Like it's still like because AI changes all the time, right? So it's always going to be like a new way of looking at it. Anyway, that was kind of a ramble.
No,
I like it. So I guess the question I have, when you're talking about this kind of variation, are you creating a bunch of variants at once, or are you creating one and then asking it to reinterpret that one and creating like a loop of a single one over and over?
It's kind of both. Sometimes because there's several ways. I use Midjourney primarily, and there's several ways to do it now in Midjourney. I started in version 4, and at the time, it was mostly just in the upscaling that I would get the variations. But now there's a remix function. There's still a variations function and an upscaler. So you can kind of use little bits of all of it, and they're all a little different. Yeah, so it's kind of like whatever the subject is, it kind of determines which way I'll go in Midjourney.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and I was just going to say, it's always just a certain number of variations that I need to make the pieces.
So I mean, that's pretty fascinating. I know that like Bryan and I are coming from a background of animation, but is there something in your background in terms of your practice, or that you looked at this and you saw frames instead of variation, instead of generations, right? Like a lot of people look at, it returns, here's what I want, and you have 4 options, pick which one you like the most, and you were like, well, these are just frames essentially. Like, how did that come about that you put that together and experimented with that?
I had a history of doing some animation, and it was always frame by frame because I've never been like into tweening. That was never interesting to me. So I would always do like frame by frame. And when I started it kind of happened organically. It was like I was spending so much time in Midjourney scrolling through the work that I created that at one point I realized, well, this is interesting while I'm scrolling. And then I kind of took all of the outputs and put them in Photoshop, and then really started to hone in on how they were going from one to the next. Does that make sense?
No, it does. Yeah. And I also noticed, so there's a lot of different themes in your work, but just on a technical level, I also noticed that your work tends to have a feeling of subtle motion, subtle push-ins or pull out and is that intentional, what you're doing there? Because I know that it adds to a very like mesmerizing effect.
Yes, it definitely does. It's intentional. I like to think of these pieces as sort of like blowing out a moment. Like instead of slicing it, it's like it's expanding. And sometimes I feel like you want to be drawn in, and sometimes you want to be, I don't know, like pushed away. And I guess it's depending on like the feeling of which one I'm working on that I'll go in either direction. But I think just the subtle movement, just, I don't know, it's like a gravity feeling.
It's a nice touch, right? Because I think it speaks a little bit more to the intentionality behind the piece and not just, I'm going to layer this, So is each frame, when you're saying, each frame is, placed intentionally, and then what is like take us through as much of this as you're willing to share, right? From concept to prompt to what we're looking at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to expand on that, how do you get to frame 1 before you interpret it? I guess the composition and stuff.
So I think each piece at this point is sort of like an evolution of like something I've done before, at least lately. And themes that I've really liked to play with are the flowers and things that are kind of busy, like you know, a lot of stars, sort of like this confetti feeling, rain. There's something like about that texture that's really interesting to me. So I will start with prompts that have a lot of like the idea of texture. And when I say texture, also I kind of mean like I'm thinking in photography terms, because that was like kind of my foundation in art. So it's going to be somewhat based in reality, like of an image that I'm thinking of. So I'll get that idea, and then, you know, I have also in Midjourney there's mood boards, which is kind of like I've been told I don't really use Stable Diffusion, but it's like a LoRa, so you can add these styles to the outputs. And now, I mean, I have probably about 40 that I like cycle through to give it interest, and a lot of that has to do with texture. So I'll add and remove texture there, and then, you know, hone in on you know, the composition, and usually I have like kind of an idea in mind. Like it might be like, you know, I really like these flowers I did yesterday, but I want them to be, you know, perhaps a different real flower, or I want them to be in a different, you know, composition or location. And I think what's starting to happen kind of naturally is I'm starting to get a little more narrative, like I'm bringing in different elements to the flowers to kind of add like a little bit of a story. And a lot of the ideas I have, I would say, are very much based on like, the word nostalgia comes to mind, but it's based on like my past. It's based on life experience. It's based on like moments where I might have felt awe. That's one thing I feel like I'm always chasing in my art, is like this feeling of like awe, and I don't know, whatever that means.
No, I think a lot of that comes through. A lot of it feels very magical and mystical.
Yeah, I think it's that, like, a lot of the work has this kind of like outer edge glow on it that makes everything feel kind of like supernatural.
And even in an image like this, that, you know, arguably, you know, it's a busy image, but when I look at the stars in this thing, right, I'm not I don't know, I'm not distracted by them. Like, they flow nicely. They're not moving at such an erratic speed that it hurts my eyes and I can't focus. Like, there's a busyness, but there's a calmness to that busyness, which would feel like a contradiction. And I think that it works really well for it, if that makes sense.
I appreciate that feedback, because I feel like that is also something I'm like looking for just in life, is like making sense of the chaos. You know, being okay with the chaos, I guess. Like, I kind of see all this work as like a metaphor for that. Like,
yeah. How much
in terms of
go ahead,
Oh,
Ryan.
in terms of the process, you get these frames out of Midjourney, and then is the output coming from AI, or are you bringing that into like After Effects and doing the timing and pushing and all that like in post?
So I actually do it all in Photoshop. So I'll take outputs,
Cool.
and I do frame by frame in Photoshop, and I play with the filters. I play with the layers.
Cool.
You know, I do have a pretty extensive graphic design background, so for me, working in Photoshop is kind of like second nature. Yeah. So I'm just very comfortable with it.
Do you have a set standard for how many frames in a piece? Like, how many frames are your final works here, would you say?
So it's interesting. When I first started doing this, I was doing like 10, and now I'm doing like 20 to 30. I feel like they're just going to get longer.
Do you do it for variety, or for like, in terms of like, you can watch this thing longer without seeing the same thing, or what?
Yeah,
what
it just takes a lot longer to do. So I think the more I do it, the more patience I have to add on. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of what you do are you directing versus allowing for chance? Because I know obviously when working with AI, there's a lot of room for happy accidents, right? Versus a vision and what's your balance like for something like that?
There's definitely something I'm looking for, and it's kind of hard to put into words, but there has to just be like enough variation that there is like this interesting overlap between frames. Like if they're too similar, it's gonna be flat. And if it's too much, it's gonna be hard to look at. So it's like there just has to be like this little, it's like the edges just have to have a little bit of interest that it gives this like aura or halo type of feeling, and not like it's going to be. I'm very conscious of my feelings when I look at other work and my own, and I'm very conscious of like not getting like put off. I don't know I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't want it to feel so jarring that like you can't look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think, when I think about the space as crypto art related and adjacent things, I think of glitch art, and I look at this and I think, look, you can do glitch art in a different way. Like it doesn't have to just be hard textures and jittery 3 frames. Like there's a version of like I think that was one of the things that I really was drawn to with your work, is that it felt like a different version of that, and in a really good way, in a refreshing way, I guess is where my head went. Like I remember seeing this piece was one of the earlier pieces that I think was on our show at some point, someone brought on, and I remember just feeling like it was a unique take on what I had already been seeing with so much glitch art, and I was kind of moved by that. Like this is really awesome. Like this is way and I think it also speaks, like you said, to the nostalgia, right? There's something about the way that you allow light to be prominent in these pieces while also still having so much motion and energy, and yet the stillness of it all. There's not really a question there, and that's really me just kind of admiring this piece. But I don't know if you want to elaborate on like maybe that comes from the photography background. I don't know what kind of photography you did prior to this, but how much of that is influenced in this,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think in this piece specifically, it's referencing a certain place in my past, and I used to love with photography. I love all the usual suspects, like, the way light hits flowers, the way doors look, portals to things, shadows, lots. I love the way shadows look, like when the sun's coming through the trees and there's like a big tree shadow on the ground. Like, I love all that stuff. And I think, that comes into a lot of my work. And when I first came into the space, I definitely was heavily influenced by all the glitch art. For me, it felt like that was what should be, that was like natively crypto to me, like, or natively social art, that it was great for the timeline. But I wanted it to not obviously feel like everything else. And I wanted to put a little bit of myself into it, where you'd say, yep, that, I understand a little bit of who you are or whatever based on the work. And, I think it's taken me like 4 or 5 years to get there. But I feel so inspired by the space every day to just keep going and keep trying new things, and to be okay with using my voice. I feel like that's what, all the people I've met on Twitter have like out is like, it's okay to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it comes through. I wanted to go back to these. And they are featured on the front of Fellowship's website, right? Mm-hmm. Again, unmistakable. And it feels like you're creating dreams, I guess is how your work feels to me. It feels like, you know, when I look at some AI work in general, that's been like, you know, oh, that's what the AI thinks, you know, an image is. When I look at your work, it feels like, oh, that's what it feels like to remember a dream. You know, you're sort of like always just on the cusp of getting it right, but you're never really getting it right, and you're feeling like, and there's a lot of warmth also in a lot of your imagery. I don't know. I imagine there's lots of intention there.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm chasing sort of like a better time, or, you know, like sort of like this utopian idea of the way things should always feel so good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I lost my thought.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, and so are you also doing any additional overpainting or you know, like in Photoshop, right? So
Sometimes, yeah, the more I do this, the more I will, and of course, the better the tools get. Like using Nano Banana is something that I've been playing with recently, where you can, you know, essentially change the entire frame except one piece of it, and that's something that's really interesting to me too. It's like the ultimate variation. You can just pick your variation. So yeah, I am doing that.
yeah, and I look at like, and again, thinking about, you know, photography as your background, like the ability to go and use Photoshop natively and use like you know, dodging and burning and, you know,
Yeah.
obscuring and scratching and
yeah,
really,
actually, one thing I've done recently that I have fun with is sometimes I'll actually make like a composite in Photoshop, like a still composite, right? And then I'll put it in Midjourney and blend it and mix it up, and then that becomes the variations from there. I think other people do that too. It's a really fun way to work.
that's cool.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you know, I might take outputs and say, okay, I like this piece, and then composite, and then just remix that back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that also, more times than not, when I'm drawn to somebody's work that has, you know, a large part of their workflow is AI, I tend to be drawn to pieces that are, I don't know, I guess less singular input driven. You know, things that are that have an artist touch to it, that has a human touch to it, that says, I like what I got here, but I also did these things to it. And I know, you know, we've had people in the show who are, you know, collage AI artists before, or use it as reference, or use it, you know, as pieces to a whole, using AI as the tool. Of course, we've had people use just, you know, straight prompts, and there's some pretty cool stuff too. But I think this is where you start to separate yourself, you know, in that you've made this like an entire practice here. You've worked through, you know, a pipeline for this kind of stuff. Have you ever considered doing any prints with these, or any kind of lenticular prints that might, you know, have like 6 frames in them or something?
Yeah, I would say stay tuned. I think by the end of the year we'll have something.
Cool. Can't wait.
All right. Okay. I feel like they're really ripe for that. Like, it's just a cool way to bring that into the physical, considering, you know, this is very much a digitally native, you know, medium that you're working in.
Yeah, it's been really tricky to take any of my work and put it in print. Like I like to make stickers, like Bryan, everybody does, you know, when we have events, and I'm always like, I don't know what to put on a sticker because it's just static. But I think lenticular is the way to go, and I'm excited about
I agree
with it.
It's gonna be sweet. And also should be noted, in addition to being on the front of Fellowship, you're also on the front of Super Rare right now. You're like, you're killing it.
Who knew?
You have to scroll down a little bit, but you're featured on the front page.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Scroll down a little bit.
Let's go.
Really
I believed you, Bryan.
Did you guys plan this? You planned.
Hold on.
There it is.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, wow. They did 3.
I mean, we know people, but we didn't plan this. Ah,
How
hell yeah.
cool.
That's
You're
great.
killing it.
You are, and I love to see it. It's great.
It's
Man.
been a ride, and I feel just like so blessed every day. I feel like there's no end to like. It's just so interesting. Like 6 years ago, hadn't shared my work with anybody, and
I mean, that's what happens when you do share things, right? Like that's it, and also I think it's cool to see the evolution. I was reading a little bit about your journey to get to this place in general, in terms of like Web3 and crypto art. With Justin Wetch had his article that he wrote about you a while back. It's a great article. People should go and take a look. But gives insight to just somebody who didn't kind of like shy away and didn't give up, and just kept changing things and trying new things, and finding a community, because that seems like that was the other big part of your turning point, right? Where you found a community of other people who were doing you just experiments in AI and daily experiments.
That was a huge change, and it's interesting because people come and go, but some of those friends are, I mean, I'll probably have for a really long time. It's kind of amazing that we can all just join on Twitter and come up with this wonderful place that we have. And I'm super thankful for it. It's yeah.
I also think, seeing your work, I mean, in the community, we've been seeing your work for a long time, but it does feel like it's starting to break out of the community, and your work's going more viral, and it's connecting with a larger audience. And that's something we don't see a lot in the space right now, is that what you have is just mesmerizing on a human level. It doesn't matter like what's going on under the hood. And I think it's all starting to like we said, we've been talking about your work on the show for a long time. We all love it, but I feel like now it's really starting to connect, and it's really awesome to see that momentum.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's really cool to see how people react. It's like pure joy. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm very intentional that what I'm putting out, I don't want it to have a negative connotation. Like I want to make people happy. I want to make people feel better. And that, if that comes through, like, then I'm good.
Yeah, I think it does. I think especially, I mean, like, using all the colors, using all the imagery that you've got with, the rainbows and whatnot, but also, and this is, if there's one word that has been used on our show more than probably any, it's the word nostalgia. And I think that is, it's just, no matter what age you are, being, having moments where you're brought back to your past, or having a feeling of being brought back to your past, it's an incredibly powerful tool to pull on people's emotions and bring them into the world, and whatever visual world that you're trying to bring them into. And I think there's a version, there's a lot of your work that just does that really well. So I think that's also been really cool, like Bryan said, to see it connecting with people of outside the space, and I'm sure it'll continue to do so.
I'll share with you that you may not be able to tell, but I'm a very introverted person, like very super introverted, and I really have to push myself to talk to people. And for me, art has always been my preferred way of communicating. Like I've always wanted to feel like I'm part of something, but talking to people is like, no, that's I'm never going to be feeling fully, I don't know, included, but somehow art allows that to happen.
Well, we're happy to include you here. And I think that you're doing a great job talking about yourself and art. And if we can keep you for a little bit longer, we can talk about other art, and can relieve some of the pressure about talking about you and your art.
I'm really happy to do that part.
All right, let's do a little show and tell then, eh? Here we go.
Let's go.
Bryan, can you hear me? Here we go.
Here yet.
Okay. So this is the part of the show that each of us has either brought work we've collected or brought work that we just think is really cool from artists that we think need a bigger platform, a little bit of a boost. At the end of the show, we have Art First Show on Twitter, and we link all the things that we've talked about, including Jen's work, and you can have links to go show those artists some love. So let's start here. Nope, not here. Let's start here with a piece that Jen you brought to the show.
Ooh.
And I apologize, we don't have the audio for any of the pieces that have the audio. This one doesn't work.
Now your audio's starting to cut out.
Yeah.
Adam.
I don't know if it's messing with you.
It's always messing with me.
I think it was all that loading.
Well, the one I chose Sign because I don't know if you guys were familiar with their work before, but it's just so unique and talk about nostalgia. It's like all this work feels like it was created in like the 80s. Like it was supposed to be there. It's just so authentic, and I know they have like a special way that they're building their model, and I just love everything that comes out. And
That's cool.
pretty quick rise on Object for sure. But I feel like it could go further.
That's really nice. And I apologize. What I was trying to say before the algorithms took out my audio. No, there's we don't have the audio playing through right now, but I encourage people to go take a look at the links later when we share them.
Imagine it's pretty haunting.
It's actually not. It's quite the opposite.
Oh dang!
So there's a bit of a subtle wave sound from the ocean, or maybe like a lake, and then there's a little wind chimes happening.
Oh,
it's actually really calming.
Yeah,
it's a very good night moon.
Yeah, I feel like
it definitely has that old school feel to it, the blurriness and the stop motion feel.
And I feel like it's also work that like it's appealing for a lot of people too. You know, it's like it's just really easy on the eyes. You know.
Yeah.
Cool find. Yeah, I'll have to check out their work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really prolific lately. So
that's awesome. Very cool. All right, Brian, you're up next here with a piece. Doobie. This is Doobie.
Yeah. This is a piece I collected this week or last week. My number one crush.
Yeah.
This is a collection that when it came out, I kind of missed it, but I love seeing it pop up on the timeline. And now that we're in this kind of bear market, it's usually the time where I start looking at like throwing in WETH offers and seeing what's on the floor of collections, and wanted to get in on this one because it's just a very fun collection of like physically handmade grills on dogs. And he's been putting out some awesome work on like Super Rare as well. That's kind of animated recently. That is just really incredible stuff. So, I think he's an artist on the rise right now. And this is, makes me feel good looking at this smiling dog when I open up my wallet now.
They're definitely an inspiration of mine too. Like always putting out super unique work. Love it.
Yeah. Love the little details on the eyes as well.
It also looks like the glitch. Like it's very cohesive.
Yeah. Very cool. Good stuff. All right. I'm going to keep moving. Okay. Here is a piece that I collected today, actually.
Did that animate on? Oh, it did. Okay, cool.
It does. Yeah. So this is Abrahani, and she does a mixture. This is was minted on Transient, and it does animate on. I thought it was really beautiful, and I didn't have any pieces from her, and I was like, you know what, this is cool, and she shared it, and it's just one of those times when I happen to catch it at the right time. And there's I think there's like only a couple editions. And
that's
she has
cool.
a couple things to work, but it's really nice.
She's awesome.
She is really, really talented.
There's hearts in there.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get it larger scale, but yeah, I thought it was really, really cool. And then you can move over it and control.
Oh, it's interactive too.
It's interactive, yeah. You can turn on and off the layers by moving through the piece.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. Shout out to
Refined.
Bradley. Yeah. I'm going to throw it on here. I keep forgetting to do it because I'm running the other side of the show, but here we go. Throwing it on.
Ooh.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. We're going to go back to Jen. Jen, we are going to go with this piece here. Someone else who has been on the show a bunch, very easily identifiable, The Mess.
So
This piece.
good.
So good.
So good. It's like evil and delightful, and it's so good.
I love this piece. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of The Mess, just in general, like all the things that they do.
There's something about the animation, like it just has that, like, I don't know, that jittery, but like not too bad.
It's not. It's still easy on the eyes. Yeah,
that's what I meant.
When I saw it on the timeline, I loved it, but I didn't really notice the 8-bit dog before because I was so focused on the face of the dog.
I love the 8-bit dog. The 8-bit dog is great.
The eyes, so good.
Yeah,
yeah.
In general,
work is amazing.
I love and I love the selective, overpainting and relayering. Like, so like in here, there's no motion at all, and over here is like 4 frames, 3 4 frames. Like, it's just really nice. And they, in general, they have a really good handle on like fluid animation, fluid dynamics, and like drawing fire and drawing water and wind. Yeah.
The choppiness is intentional.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But it also feels like, it's just like a moment. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah, very nice. I throw it on there.
It's
very good. Good stuff. Not to say other things are not. Okay. Bryan, you're up. I love this piece here.
Yeah.
Love this piece.
So this is by Jose Narciso. He made this collection of flowers. I'd put in a bid on one with tomatoes that I was originally gunning for, but another collector really wanted it, and so I let them win that auction, and I went for this one. The beautiful collection. I recommend looking at the whole thing, but they all come with physical paintings, which I just got and hung up in my toddler's bedroom next to her crib. And I mean, his work's awesome in general, but super affordable and super clean, and I just really love it.
You're underwater.
You're underwater.
Why? What is going on? I'm a big. I can't say I'm a big fan. I've enjoyed his work. Is that too much for the internet?
But you can. I think I don't know if I sent you the link of the whole collection. I think there's still like a few available. But it's worth seeing them all together. I don't know if you can click on the thing.
That tomato piece was really good. I remember that one.
Yeah.
You're talking about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My toddler loves tomatoes, so I was like, I was gunning for it, but there's plenty of paintings to go around.
They're great. I love the hard shadow, the colors, the cleanliness of it. It's just it's vibrant and just makes me smile.
And his bigger, more complex pieces are incredible. Just totally worth diving into his work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was because of this collection I went and did a deep dive, and so good.
Yeah. They're all so good. Very cool. All right. I'm gonna keep going. While I was on Fellowship's site for you, I said let's just take a look around, and I found some really, really awesome things here. So Vlad Dita, this piece is Garden, and I thought it was really awesome. Let's see if it plays. I had not seen pieces like this before. Let's see if it. Come on, here we go.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Oh, that's neat.
So can it
I love the look
like
of
very
that.
synth.
That's really neat.
It's really, really gorgeous. And he does this work where each one of these, objects comes on and masks on and has a bit of a glow to it. And it just feels really magical.
Yeah, it's like a selective seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, very imaginative.
And just talk about reshaping the world and seeing it just how he wants it to be seen. Really, really cool. Of course, I just closed it out, but I'll have links to his work later as well. Here, I'm gonna pivot now to another for you, Jen, and we're going to show two pieces from this artist. So this is from Adam Carty.
Yeah,
Fragmented.
I've been watching his work for a while. I do love the purist part that this is like photography, but it takes you like completely somewhere else. And this captivated me because I felt like there was just so much to see. And the light is just, I mean, it's otherworldly.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Color separations. Like, I don't know how any of this is done. I don't know if it's all in camera, if it's multiple exposures, if it's post-production. I don't know anything about it. I just know it looks cool.
Yeah, I can tell you that he shared with me that this is like it's based on mundane, everyday stuff that he somehow adds magic to. And but it's photography. Like, it seems like it's in camera. So
wow.
I that's my understanding.
Okay.
Really
yeah. However it is, I mean, it's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know how everything is made, right? Like,
right.
I'm always fascinated and I love learning. I love learning, right? Like that's kind of why our show exists, right? But I can also just appreciate really cool.
Yeah, I love how these just go to, like, I don't know. I'm always thinking quantum, and they always just kind of go to that place, like the unseen in between ethereal world.
Yeah. I've always been fascinated by sort of like microscopic worlds. When you zoom in and you just see an entire world that's a hidden world. This is really cool.
Yeah, that piece too. Woo.
Like, look at that. Look at these.
Yeah, it's like an insect hive or something. What it reminds me of.
Yeah. The texture on this is great too. Very cool. Very, very cool. Like I said, at the end of this, there'll be links to all the artists. So people,
I believe that second piece is for sale.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, just 0.25. Very cool. Bryan, you are up with your third piece here. This is TBAM, To Be a Machine.
Yeah.
And
Be a Machine by OX Ripe. Yeah, you probably have seen this one around the timeline. It's a little heady, but basically it minted a bunch of these out in the past couple days, and it's like a mix of like 3 algorithms or something like that. But the interesting mechanic of it, in my opinion, is that it constantly changes the output based on the Ethereum hash block. So every time the block changes, the art changes, and it's up to the user to decide when to freeze it. And so you can basically just keep watching it change every few seconds until a point where you want to change it, or you can just let it be an evolving thing that changes forever.
That is so cool.
Oh, see, or you can lock it down.
Yeah. So there's a backend on the website where you can basically say, like, freeze this block.
Okay.
So if you look through it, like the ones, some people are starting to freeze them and some aren't. So I think those are frozen ones, and the ones that have like the 4 quadrant, those are ones that are not frozen yet.
Did you freeze yours?
I have not yet. I want to see what it does first. But some people have been making like grids out of them. I don't know. There's a lot. I still need to do more of a deep dive into it, but on the surface, it's very fun to play with.
Sure. That's really cool looking, man. I didn't know that. And are they all of the same source image?
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
off the Andy Warhol and Monroe concept.
Right.
But yeah, very, very, very fun. And
That's
they were
awesome.
like, I think a couple dollars to mint. It's just a fun. I think it was like $8 to mint.
Oh wow.
So just a really fun experiment.
I
Wow.
love stuff like that.
It might still be minting, but it might have closed yesterday. I forget. Yeah, it looks like there's about 3,000 of them right now. Oh, the mint Windows 61. I don't know how this really works, but it's minting right now.
It looks like another 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there's more mint windows after or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go, people, go.
Yeah.
Don't walk, run.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing this. That's so cool.
Yeah. Very cool, man. There you go. Boom. Got it up. All right. I think I've got one more left to share here. And again, going down that rabbit hole on Daily XYZ, checking out pieces. And this piece was wild. See if it'll play or if it'll spin or if my computer can even handle it. Oh, dear God. But it's really cool. It's very fluid. It has, I couldn't even tell where the loop was. And if I can do this where I basically reload everything, let's see if you can see it now.
There it goes.
Check.
Whoa. That is freaky.
It is, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it's like a living paintbrush strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Reminds me of like that movie, What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just really mesmerizing to watch. A whole series like that too, which I don't know how to get there easily from here. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's sort of like living painting feelings.
Had some like Harry Potter halls of the castle art.
Yeah. So wild. I think Fellowship does a good job of featuring artists that are doing some really amazing things with AI and other tools and it's a really
good finds.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
All right. And that's our show and tell. You know, I don't have like an end song for the show and tell. But yeah, I just I want to thank you for coming on today and hanging out with us. Before we go, anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about, or things that we missed, or you want to bring up?
I have a drop coming up on Ninfa also.
Congrats.
It's going to be March 10th, and
Awesome.
I'm excited about that. So more to come.
March 10th. Okay, we'll be on the lookout. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, you know, I make work like when I feel like it most of the time. So just keep an eye on the timeline.
That's nice, and I'm sure we'll see way more work from you in the future. Like, it just keeps popping up, and every time I see it up, I'm excited, and then I see and I look and I'm like, oh yeah, people are noticing. It's good stuff. So
well, thanks so much for having me on, you guys. It's an honor to be here. Honestly, I didn't talk about it in the beginning, but I meant to. I always think of Bryan Brinkman when I got into the space, because when I dropped into Crypto Voxels, the Nimbuds exhibition was there. I was like, what is this? I need to know more. And kind of it from there.
That's awesome. Thank you.
This is it, man. I keep telling you, like he was the way I got into. I saw Nimbuds on Instagram, and I was like, "What the hell is this? This is cute and fun and weird." And I went down the rabbit hole. Bryan, you are the gateway drug to.
Absolutely.
I try.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you for coming today. I want to thank everybody for showing up and checking out the show, whether it was live or on the replay. We appreciate it. And then, we will be back soon with some more future episodes, and we look forward to it. But until then, we wish everybody well, and keep art first. All right, take care, everybody.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks.